Another important thing you're going to need to know as you begin creating these different objects, whether it be the pencil, the barbell, whatever it is that you go create, you're going to need to know how to copy. Copying in 3ds Max, copying an object is really simple. All you have to do is, first of all, select the Select and Move tool. Make sure you have that selected, the cross with the arrows on the ends up at the top. And remember, you're in a 3D environment, so you have a X, Y, and Z axis. What that means is, if I select the Y axis, I'm going to slide my cube along the Y plane. If I select the X axis, I'm going to move the cube on the X axis. And then if I select Z, I'm going to move the cube vertically up and down. So Y and X will move it horizontally, where Z will move it vertically. The other thing to remember is you can zoom in and out of your picture of what you're working on by using the roller on your mouse. If you select the roller on your mouse and just roll in and out, you can move around your screen. Another thing you could do is go down to the bottom right of your screen. You'll see where there's a hand, and when you hold the cursor over it, it says Pan View. When you select that, you can move your everything, your entire scene, anywhere you need it. Believe me, you're going to really find this handy later, because a lot of times objects will kind of get lost in your scene, and so it becomes real easy to just bring them back to the center of your screen. So you want to have the Select and Move tool selected, because we're going to copy this cube. So let me zoom out just a little bit, and I want to move over just a little bit so it's a little off center there. Okay, so we're going to make a copy of this cube. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top. Let's make sure that you have the Select and Move tool selected and that the cube is selected. Then it's really simple. All you do is hold down the Shift button on your keyboard and select one of the arrows for the direction you want to make your copy. In other words, you could select the Y-axis, the X-axis, or the Z-axis, and I'm going to select the Y-axis. Hold down the Shift button. Hold down your left mouse button and just slide it over. And there you go. Very simple. So it made a copy, but now I'm given a choice of I can either just select a copy, which will mean just an individual copy of the first object, and I can do whatever I want with that second object and first object, and it won't affect the other. On the other hand, if I select Instance, and I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. Now what will happen is I'm going to select the original object and I'm going to change the width. You'll notice the width on the second object changes too. If I select height, the height on the second object changes as well. Now that comes in real handy if you're building something that you need lots of identical shapes. If I needed a box to be manipulated several times over, it saves me a lot of time than having to keep copy and pasting or get each one perfect. I can manipulate them all at once. But let's go back. Let's make individual copies of this one. So I'm going to select the object. I'm going to select the Shift key. I'm going to slide that cube over. And there we go. I'm just going to say copy because I don't want them to do exactly however I adjust one. I don't want the other to do the same thing.